What's up, YouTube? Bomberman giving you a Spellbook Prophecy deck profile for the July 2014 ban list. Well, we're already pretty far into the format, but whatever. Alright, starting off, we have 3 High Priestess. Basically, your trump card of the deck. You want to get her out as fast as possible by milling your own deck by using your spellbooks, so you can have them in the grave for her effect. And then we have 3 Blue Boy, which is obvious. He searches out your spellbook when he's summoned, and sometimes when you use Book of Moon, you can use it over again when they attack, or use Fate before they attack. Put him face down, they attack, you bring him back up, you get another search. And then I run 2 Temperance because sometimes late game when you don't have many spellbooks in your hand, you've used them all, or maybe you've actually set them to bluff or traps, and you just need a priestess on board real quick because you have enough spellbooks in your grave. This will work great. And then I run 3 Justice. Justice is really good early game. Let's say you have 3 spellbooks, Justice, and Priestess in hand, which happens, for me at least, a lot. Summon Justice, then Special Priestess, then you activate probably Secrets is what you'll have, or Crescent. Then you get Justice's effect off. Then next turn you have another Priestess lined up in case you want to just summon another, or if you want to wait until, in case your first Priestess dies, and then you just have a second one backed up. And that's it for the monsters. I think it's 11 monsters. Don't really need more. Onto the spellbooks, I have 3 Crescent. I think it's better than Duality because it's a name for Priestess, and it's alive a lot because you're using Priestess and you're always banishing your spellbooks, and yeah, 3 of those. Then 3 Secrets. Secrets is your 1-for-1 basically in the deck. 2 Tower. Tower, you don't need more than 2. I wouldn't recommend playing 1. And 3, I guess 3 would be okay for a world build, so it's like an easy discard, but I wouldn't recommend it in a Priestess build. 2 Eternity, because you're banishing your spellbooks. Pretty standard stuff. 2 Master. I've seen people run 3. I have 3, but I prefer 2. 2 has worked out for me. I've never actually needed another Master. And then 2 Wisdom. I've seen people play 1 and 2. Yeah, I wouldn't run 1. I'd prefer the 2. Yeah, doesn't really... I've never had problems with it clogging. And then the 1-ofs. The 1 Power, 1 Life, and 1 Fate. Yep. Oh, and then the 1 Book of Moon. On to traps. That's... I don't know how many spells it is. I'm not going to count. The obvious one, 3 Reckless Greed. Who cares if you can't draw for 2 turns? If you have Tower, you're still getting your draw phase basically. 2 Mirror Force. A lot of the times people think you're just bluffing with face down spellbooks, but Mirror Force normally gets them. 2 Phoenix Chain, because it is really good, and same with Mirror Force, people think they're based on spellbooks, and stopping effects while also getting to stop their attack is really nice because sometimes you don't draw into a monster your first turn, and you'll normally draw into a Phoenix Chain at least. And then the 1-ofs, Torrential, Solemn Warning, and Bottomless Trap Hole. Oh, and then this one isn't a 1-of, but I only have 1 of in the deck. Dimensional Prison for hands and the occasional Beals, I guess. Yep, and that's the main deck. onto the side deck. Side deck, 2 maxi, mainly for Infernity, I guess Sylvans as well, and Lightsworns and Rulers and all those fancy junk. Normally, I mainly have these in here for Infernity though. So 2 maxi. 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. You can't have your Priestess Phoenix chained. Well, I mean, yeah. So you normally need to MST it. Nobleman with Crossout, preparing for Shadal's. But of right now, it's for Girgia and the hands. 1 breakthrough skill because it's not as good as Phoenix Chain, but I sold my Veilers, so breakthrough skill. I would side in 1 Veiler if I had it. Blackhorn of Heaven, because I prefer it to, what is it, Nightmare Traptrix Hole. I prefer Blackhorn. 2 Mind Crush, because every deck searches. Yeah, almost every deck searches. You can tell me a deck that doesn't search, let me know. My personal tech, Cloak and Dagger. This is normally for Tiramisu. Right when you have this set and you feel like they're about to go off with it, you flip it, call Tiramisu, and yeah. And I have that awesome misprint one. And last but not least, 2 Wiretap, because Wiretap is too good. Way better than 7 Tools of the Bandit. So that was the side deck. Onto the extra deck. 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, because, I mean, come on, a 4500 beater, and it's just amazing. Look at that art, and it's a limited edition. 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate. It also gets over Apollo Quiloff Killer. Yep. Stardust, Red Dragon Archfiend, and Power Tool Dragon. Easily the best of the Signer Dragons and a must-need in every deck. Power Tool to get me my equip spells. Red Dragon Archfiend to get rid of super heavy Samurais. And Stardust Dragon to negate destruction. And personally, my favorite in the extra deck, Thunder Unicorn, Voltic Bicorn, and Lightning Tricorn. Best trio ever. Nothing much to say about that. One of the best, easily the best synchros, Beals, can't be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect. Great card. Some targets for Blue Boy. Shining Elf also works with power, so you can easily get a 26 beater, and its effect is actually pretty decent. Herald of Pure Light, I prefer to go into Shining Elf than this. This is whatever. Zen Mains to stall, and probably the best XYZ in the game, Utopia. Come on, what else can negate effects, or not effects, attacks? Even its own. What a great it is to overlay, then attack directly for the last life points, and you negate Utopia's attack, so your opponent gets to live. Great. Number 15, Gimmet Puppet Giant Grinder. Great if your opponent has, I don't know, Honor Arc, because you get to steal shit. And last but not least, Cowboy for game. Yep. Well, that has been my Spellbook Prophecy build. I hope you know I'm kidding with the extra deck. You don't need an extra deck. Alright, leave a like, a comment, and possibly even a subscribe. I'll be having more discussions, pack openings, and more deck profiles as soon as I can. Alright, see you later.